And last up, Black Mirror, which is a show on Netflix, which is really cool. I've told you guys about it before, like previous episodes and previous seasons. Season 3 is now out, and it's only 6 episodes. So check it out. Each episode is really good. I enjoyed all of them. The last one definitely takes the cake because each episode, like, it doesn't build on each other. It's like its own like little mini movie. You know, they're all like an hour long, so it's like their own, you know, little movies. You know, how long is a movie? Like fucking an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know, these episodes are like about an hour. Some a little bit more, some a little bit less. Like the last episode is like an hour 15. But they're all like, you know, different actors each episode, and they're individuals. But they're like standalone. But the last episode kind of ties in like each of the other episodes into one, which was really cool, and I did not see coming, and it was a really good episode. So a lot of it is like technology based type of things, and kind of like a dystopian future types of settings where shit goes wrong because of a certain type of technology that's like very prevalent. And I think that it's called Black Mirror because it's kind of like a social commentary on society itself, like now, and it's kind of like look at yourselves in the mirror and how you're like, you know, addicted to your phones, and by you I mean we are addicted to our phones and computers and just our own insular worlds, while at the same time and ironically being that much more connected to each other by doing so. Because like we were saying in the beginning of the episode, the world is like such a smaller place now because of the advent of the internet and stuff like that, and social media, etc., etc., etc. So I think it's called Black Mirror because it's kind of like a black, dark, dystopian view of what the future could be if we continue on this path. And there is like one episode, for example, of these bees that sometime in the future, you know how they say like bees are like dying off, and it would throw off like the balance of agriculture if, you know, bees became extinct or became dangerously low in population because it would stop pollinating plants and flowers, etc., and crops would diminish and stuff like that. So in this future, in one of these episodes, they made these like flying robot bees that they're robot bees that do everything that bees did, but they're robots. And that's to supplement for their population. But then these little bees became devices where the government could use them for surveillance, and also it became the source of like somebody like hacked into the ability to like control a subset of these bees, of these hives, of these populations of bees, and they linked it to social media in a way, and started like this hashtag game where you know some douchebag, you know, person who's popular or something like that, like let's say and had like a bad week or said some fucked up shit, like let's say Roseanne, that's in the news now, like somebody would use the hashtag death to Roseanne, or Kanye when he, you know, spoke about his fucking slavery as a choice type of thing, and you know, had that TMZ outburst or whatever. Like somebody could say hashtag death to Kanye, and every week there was like a countdown, and whoever had the most like retweets or whatever on that hashtag, or whoever, you know, whether it be death to Kanye or death to Roseanne or whatever, whoever had the most would have the bees like would target that person. And they're like little bees, you know, they fit anywhere. And, there's hundreds of thousands or millions of them. And this person like hacked them to like go into, find the person, locate the person, and kill them basically. So it's like these literally killer bees, and they would like go into the person's like nose or ears or eyes or whatever, and just go in their brain and like stab them and kill them. So that was like one episode. And another episode was the ability to like download your consciousness into like someone else's body. So there was like a husband and wife, and the wife got into a really bad car accident, and she was like a vegetable pretty much, and through some like primitive, at that time it takes place like a bit in the future, not too far off into the future, but a bit into the future. There was some sort of like primitive device where the person could respond using like a green light and a red light, but they couldn't like speak, they couldn't move, they couldn't open their eyes, they couldn't anything, but they link this up to them, and they kind of speak through like yes and no with a green light and a red light. Think the like the scientist, quadriplegic guy, Stephen Hawking, who was like he couldn't move, but he could communicate through like his eyes, like moving on the screen and typing out what he wanted to say, like that, sort of kind of something like that. But anyway, so in this episode, that person was approached by someone and given the option of downloading their consciousness completely and embedding it into their spouse. So, they played with the theory, which is supposedly a bullshit theory, but that we only use 40% of our brains on a good day, and there's like this 60% of our brain where that's dormant, and you can technically download the consciousness of that other person into that 60% space that's not being used. And that person, you can hear them in your head and have conversations with them, and then they could feel whatever you feel and see whatever you see and hear whatever you like they could quote unquote live again. And that's another episode that takes a weird turn as well, a weird dark turn. And what else? There's like an episode about a doctor that gets like this implant to feel the pain of his patients. In a way, he gets like this neural implant where he can read the pain of patients to like better diagnose them and like no, it's not this artery, it's that artery that's causing the pain, because like he feels exactly what they feel and he's able to like pinpoint shit. And that takes a really dark turn, because then he starts like getting off on the pain, and then he starts hurting himself and other people and shit like that. It's a very interesting show. It's dark, I like it, and I think you will too. It's well written, it's very good acting, and it's different. It's not like any other shows that I watch or that I've seen before, and I think it's pretty cool. It's called Black Mirror, and it is available on Netflix for your viewing pleasure.